Hi BookTube, it's Missy, and today I'm here to share with you guys my weekly wrap-up for number 23, which was last week, and I did 4 books last week. So excited. It was the ATopicAthon Readathon, which I absolutely loved. I am definitely going to participate in this readathon in the future. I love being able to pick just a topic and then going with it. And it kept me on track, and so I can't wait to share with you guys the books that I read. Before we get started, I'm standing in front of my old bookcase. I'm so excited. The camera and the lights are on top of my bed. I think this background will be nice for the summer because I am able to film earlier in the day, so I have all this natural light and a little bit extra just in case I need some. And yeah, so I got my horror in the background and all my awesome books, and then this whole shelf here are all the books that I've read. Yay me! Double stacked! So excited! I'm slowly making my way through all of the books that I own. Slowly but surely. Alright, so the first book that I want to share with you guys is a graphic novel, which I should have read a long time ago because Jessica gave this to me forever ago, and that is Saga Volume 4. What did I give this? I think I give it 3. I didn't like the side story that's taking place. The very first picture in here, which I obviously can't show you, was totally disgusting. I mean, you know, it's not really gross because I've gone through it, but yeah, you guys can just imagine what it looks like giving birth to something, and it's unusual, and I'm thinking that doesn't make any sense, and just the whole anatomy part of it, like how is this possible? Whatever. If you guys have read this series, you know what I'm talking about. There are characters in here that doesn't make any sense, but it's a comic, so I'm just going with it. Okay, so in this one, we meet some new people. Hazel is 3 now. Alana is driving me crazy. She's decided to do something that is against all parents. It's just a no-no, and she's doing it, which makes it seem, I don't know, and Marco's upset. And so, yeah, this was 3 because nothing really fun happened. It was just a bunch of drama, and me being angry at Lana the whole time for being a jerk. So there's that. I do love the series as a whole, and I can't wait to read the volume that comes after this, which is 5, because I can count. Alright, the next book that I read was Girl Interrupted by Susanna Kaysen. This is a nonfiction. It's a movie. It was fantastic. This was for the ATopicAthon Readathon. My topic was asylums, and so this is what I started with. Very easy to read, super interesting. I believe I gave this a 3 or a 4. The movie was a lot more entertaining, but obviously you get more information in this book. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing much to say. It's just about her account while she was 17 in a psychiatric hospital, and her life there and her life with the other patients and what went down. I mean, the movie was, it hit the points that were in here, but it went drastically away from it as well and came up with its own little story. So if you have seen the movie, even though it's similar to the book, did I say that right? To the book, the director and whoever else, the screenwriter, took liberties in expanding the movie, so it's not as precise to the story that you read in the book. And then the last 2 books that I want to talk about are the Muse Asylum and The Girl in the Steel Corset. I kind of read these right after each other, and I don't think I've talked about this before on my channel. I did do a video on how to read multiple books at one time, where you choose how many pages or chapters you want to read a day per book, and then you calculate how many days you want to read it, say like for 7 days. But instead of stretching it out, because I wanted to finish this in one day, what I did was I read a chapter from here, and then I immediately put it down regardless if I wanted to continue, and I picked up this book and read a chapter, and then once I finished that chapter I put it down and then picked up this one. So I got through both of these books in one day. I think I spent like 8 hours back and forth reading the entire thing, and then I was done Sunday night before the readathon was over, and so I was excited for that. So let's just start with this one, The Girl with the Steel Corset by Katie Cross. I talked about the novella that I read, which was The Strange Case of Finley James, I believe, last week, and that was a 5-star novella. I was really excited to read it. It was my first 5-star novella because it was just so intense. Like, the entire story was complete, but it was only in a short amount of words, which was just excellent. I haven't read a novella that was that strong before, and I really enjoyed it. So going into this, I was extremely excited, and then I started this right after the novella. In this one, Finley Jane meets some characters, a bunch of misfits. They all have their own special abilities. We find out pretty early on that this is a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde retelling, and so this Finley Jane is actually an offspring, and so that's really exciting, but it doesn't stick with just the fact that she is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde's daughter, but expands on how this all came to be, which is really fun to read. And then if you like Cassandra Clare's Infernal Devices, this is, I think it was published in 2007 or 11, what was it? 2011, Infernal Devices, or Cassandra Clare's World, started in 2007. So this one came afterwards. I don't know if this author got some ideas off of Cassandra, or the whole like steampunk rune aspect happened previously in other books, and then Cassandra saw it and she thought that was a really cool idea, and then this person also had the same idea, or whatever. I don't really care if authors not steal, but are influenced from each other, because nothing's original. But I really enjoyed how this played out with the whole steampunk aspect and the special abilities and all that stuff. I don't want to go into any more because I don't know if I'm spoiling it or not, but I would definitely check this out. I believe there's 5 books in this series, 4 or 5, and I cannot wait to read the second one. I'll probably put that on my next library queue. So yes, very, very good, super fast-paced. And then finally, I read the Muse Asylum by David Shalusky. I believe that's how you say the last name. I think I give this book 3 stars, maybe 4. It's different. It's different. There are 2 POVs and 3 main characters. So there is Jacob, or not Jacob, sorry. There's Jake. Jake goes to Princeton, and he loves a author called Jacob, or Horace Jacob Little. He's a modern classics author, and Jake finds out about this author when he's in high school, falls in love with him, goes to Princeton, meets a girl, and decides to give this girl his copy of the book that he is enjoying, which is Horace Jacob Little's most recent novel at the time. And then they break up, whatever, yada yada. The girl then meets another guy, Andrew Wallace, and he's introverted and kind of strange, but he's super smart, and she falls in love with him, and so she decides she's going to give the copy that Jake gave her to him. And so he gets to read Horace Jacob Little's book. It's like Meeting Strange, or Strange Meeting. I think that's the title of the fictional book in this story. I hope I'm making sense. Anyways, Jake gives the book to the girl. The girl gives the book to her new boyfriend. That boyfriend becomes extremely paranoid ends up going into a psychiatric hospital called the Overlook Institute or hospital, something like that, and has a nervous breakdown, but continues to talk about Horace Jacob Little as in this author is out to get him. And so you have to like go through the mystery of who this author is. Is he real? Is he not? I mean, obviously he's a real author, but is it like a ghost writer, or is Horace Jacob Little a real person? Because he never talks about himself. There's no interviews with the author. There is no pictures of him. He's recluse and a mystery. And so Jake tries to go on his trail to find out who this guy is. And then, of course, Andrew Wallace is extremely paranoid about him, and the girl's stuck in the middle. So like I said, there's 2 POVs. There's Jake's present day POV of the whole situation, because he is a journalist and he's trying to track down this infamous mysterious author. And then you have Andrew Wallace's account. It's like called The Confessions. It's a biography that he's writing about this author and how the author is trying to ruin his life. And so it's the whole book was just very, very strange and hard to grasp. I mean, it was easy to read, but the whole situation was just weird. I don't know. I liked it for the most part. Like I said, it was like a 3 or 4 stars. And I don't know. If you are interested in reading about a very strange story about paranoia and schizophrenia and I don't know, double lives and all that kind of stuff, I would check it out. All right, so those were the 4 books, or 3 books and then 1 graphic novel, or even better yet, 2 fiction, 1 nonfiction, and a graphic novel that I read last week. I'm very proud of myself. I got through all of it. And then for this week, I'm going to continue reading the 2 that I've started. I started Asylum by Patrick McGrath, and like I said last week, Katie over at Chapter Stacks, she gave this book 2 stars. It's a story written by a psychiatrist, which is the narrator, and he is discussing what he's learned from his patient and a wife of another psychiatrist that lives on the grounds of the psychiatric hospital. So it's very detached and you're not invested in the story. It's like you're reading it in a newspaper, you know what I mean? Like it's not a part of you, if you know what I'm talking about. Whenever you read a story, you feel like you're in the book and you're with the characters, but this one is very far away, and it's okay. Well, it's just meh. I am on chapter 3, so I'm not that far in, but I really, really hate the main character. Like the psychiatrist, I don't know him, because he's just the narrator. But the main character that the story is based on, the wife, is really gross and annoying, and so, I don't know. I'm going to continue reading it because I have it, so I want to read it. And then I am also actually reading The Spark and the Burn, which is the sequel to Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea. I'm on page 42. This is by April Genevieve Tuchok, I believe, and so far I don't like it. It's due today, and so I was thinking I would just DNF it. I don't like DNFing. I don't really think I've actually said I DNF'd something. I've had to take things back to the library and then haven't had the chance to check them out yet again. But I don't know. I kind of want to know what happens, and so I'm going to continue reading it. So I just checked it out again, even though this is the 12th time that I've checked this book out, and I'm just sick of looking at its cover, but I want to finish it because I like to torture myself. So I'm not really thrilled about these 2 books that should be done in the next day or so, and then I will start on some of the library books from my book haul that I shared with you guys last week. I also am going to the bookmobile today because I have 5 more books that I will share with you guys. Because I'm awful, and now I'm going to have like 16 new releases on my floor that need to be read by July 9th, which is ridiculous. I'm gonna have to read like a book a day or something. And then lastly, before I go, if you guys have ever been to Sam's channel, which is Novels and Nonsense, she talks about these 2 adult coloring books called The Enchanted Forest and The Secret Garden, and how she enjoys coloring in them. And so I got sick of seeing these on her channel because it was feeding my artistic coloring side. I, as an adult, I'm 34, people. I own at least 12 coloring books since I was 4th grade, so 10 years old. And I have it like my signature and then the age and date of said colored picture in the coloring book. I don't know why I kept them, but I did. And so they're 24 years old and they're sitting in my closet, and every once in a while I will pick up a coloring book and just start coloring with crayons, but I decided to be a little bit more professional because Sam has it and I need to copy people. And so I went to Amazon and tried to buy these coloring books, but they were out of stock. So I did the best thing I could and just got a different coloring book. And so I bought Doodle Invasion, featuring illustrations by Kirby Rosans. This is a Filipino illustrator, and if you look him up on Google and then look at his pictures, they're all really fun and kind of like graffiti, but with a whimsical style. So I'll just show you a page. So this is just, a plane, and the exhaust is actually, can you see it? Like little minions, like little tiny monster creatures. And they're all just, collectively in there. Let me find another one. They're just they're so stinking cute. It looks like the Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters. But it's just really, really cute. And I used to have one of his illustrations that has the word love in it with all these little monsters coming out as my desktop on my computer for about a year because I just loved looking at it. So when I found out he actually had a coloring book, I about died. And so I bought this immediately, and I will be getting the Enchanted Forest next week. I think they finally are going to be restocking it soon, and so I got that coloring book and some colored pencils. I have a ton of Crayola colored pencils, but I decided I would try out these oil-based pencils and see how I like them. They're supposed to be a little dry. I watched a bunch of YouTube reviews on it, and everyone says they're okay. Just 24. I got them for like $19 off of Amazon. And so I will start coloring and letting you guys know how I like it. And of course I'll share with you guys my Enchanted Forest that I get next week. And that's it. So that was a long video. I apologize for that. I haven't talked to you guys in a week, so I wanted to share. And I will talk to you guys later. Hopefully I will record that bookmobile video sometime tomorrow. And my Friday reads. So anyways, talk to you guys soon. Have a wonderful Thursday. Bye.